Hello, baby.
Hello, nasty. Hello there.
Hello.
I say hello.
Hello, friend.
Well, hello, little girl.
Hello, my treacherous friends.
Hello, operator.
The beginning of everything. Welcome back, my friends.
It's showtime.
Hey everybody, welcome to the Brink of Sanity episode 395. We are almost there, folks. Almost up to the 300th episode special.
Yes, only 5 more episodes to get to 300, right?
Yeah, but I think maybe we should do the 300th special at 399 and then do the 400th episode special.
So we have Doc joining us today. Hey, Doc.
Yeah, wait, is it 300 or 400?
Well, 400 is coming up, but we never
joke
did
is that
300.
yeah, we haven't done the 300 special, so the closer we get to 400, why don't we do this?
Oh, you haven't done the 300 yet.
Yeah, when we hit number 400, can we count backwards? And then when we get to number 1, we all just drink poison, punch, and call it.
But
that's it.
Who's the cult leader, though? Like, does anybody want
Jay, do you want to be you are the leader of the show, Jay. You want to be the cult leader?
All right. I have 5 episodes.
Hospice nurse.
yeah. I have 5 episodes to buy a white robe. That's all I have to do, really, right?
Doc, I have a question for you. Would you rather? We're working on this game that may or may not ever be done, but it involves would you rather's. And I was curious. Speaking of cults, would you rather be the leader of a large cult or a middle manager at a large company?
A leader of a large cult. Like, don't they get like all sorts of awesome things?
Yeah, I mean, you could have a harem. People probably have to give you all their money. Like, they treat you kind of like a god.
Harems are underrated.
Yeah, you might go to jail because that's how a lot of those end. But like, you're going to be like a king for a while.
You know, you only live once.
It's hard to get a group of people to treat you like an actual god.
I mean, how many people could say they had a harem?
Yeah, you really walk around and like be like, I'm going to give you all babies, and you're going to have to deal with that because I'm a god.
I feel like I wonder how many people would just say middle manager. It's like a game, so it's not.
Right. I guess some people would have to say maybe the middle manager is not a strong enough choice.
I mean, that might be the real choice in real life, but in a game, I think we're gonna go with the cult leader.
Yeah. Okay. What if it was like you could be like a VP at a company, like a high position, not necessarily CEO.
I think that's easier.
Okay, CEO of a company. You're a large company, a CEO. You're making like millions of a year. I don't know how much they make.
I think that's a way easier choice.
Yeah, that's easier.
You're making it worse.
Then the CEO is obviously.
Yeah.
I don't know. Being a cult leader is pretty attractive. I mean, like, again, people treat you like a god.
Well, people
CEOs too.
Yeah, I mean, the people who follow you do. Everyone else thinks you're the worst person ever.
Okay, what if you're
What if you know what you should do? You should be the cult leader, but then you have to die with the cult, like.
Well, if I'm gonna have to die with the cult, then like
well, like you could enjoy it for like, let's say 20, whatever period of time, and then at some point.
But
only the good die young. So what if you run basically 20 years of just awesomeness versus 40 years of
I thought the cult leader is supposed.
That would be a good choice.
The cult leader is supposed to have everybody else drink the poison Kool-Aid while he takes his spaceship to Mars. I thought that was the deal.
That's true too. Let's say you're a CEO of a company, of like a crypto company, where like you're making a lot of money. People in the company believe in your mission, but the entire company is a giant scam. Right. Whereas cult, it's a scam, but like you're basically a religion to people. And you don't have to ever like, or with crypto, at some point they're gonna be like, this is a scam. Religion, like with cult, you can just be like, it's just not gonna wait till it happens. You can the blind faith thing.
Yeah, you could just keep pushing it. Like with crypto, I feel like it crashes at some point.
Okay, Jay? Would you rather be the CEO of a crypto company or the cult leader of a sex cult? A hot Swedish sex cult. Sorry. For Jay,
Wait, you're not making it
hot Korean / Thai / Chinese sex cult. Japanese, whatever Asian, a cornucopia of Asian hotties.
You get to pick. You get to pick
It's
what the
correct answer
nationality
is the correct answer is Japanese.
Okay. Well, our Korean audience is like just pissed off now.
For the racists out there, there is a difference.
Okay, we didn't imply there wasn't, so that's fucked up. John.
I know a lot of people are just like, well, what's the difference? It's Asian. There's a difference. There's a difference.
Hey Doc, I have a question. So for the you're Indian, right?
Right.
Okay. Do you consider yourself Asian?
That's a good yeah, I'm technically we are Asian, but when like most people think of Asian, it's not Indian.
Right.
Yeah, Indian is they call it South Asian, but it's basically like the slang term Asian like kind of refers to East Asian basically.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's confusing with like the way like it's like there's a comedian who's talking about like he's talking about like African American. He's like Idris that Idris Elba. He's a fine African American actor. Like, well, he's British. Okay, he's British American. Like it's just confusing basically.
Yeah, people just want to put people in categories, so they use like the continents as like kind of uh a fill in for race basically, and I guess there's like the Himalaya mountains, so Indians are like look different than you know.
But isn't
Yeah.
Russia technically on the Asian continent?
Yeah, most of it's in Asia.
What? So Vladimir Putin is he's Asian.
He's Asian, yeah.
It gets confusing with all that stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Someone. So I was talking to some actually an Indian guy recently who asked me. He's like, "You're Jewish. Are Jews white?" And I was like,
Do I
I
look
mean,
white?
I'm like pale. I'm like I'm pale as a goddamn ghost. So I guess I'm white.
Yeah, well, people think white is a race, and white isn't a race. Like
Right.
just like it's just a color.
Yeah.
Just-
So what I say is I'm white until people get angry. Like
Yeah.
I'm white until they have a rally about something. Like there's like
Yeah.
they're like the rally for like opening schools. They're like, don't close our schools. We hate Jews. And you're like, the fuck? What do we have to do with the schools? Why are you bringing us up? Like every time there's a rally to hate someone, Jews are brought up. Like someone just brings up the Jews.
Yeah, the problem is like the amount of melanin in your skin is not exactly the same thing as your race. Like it, obviously correlates with certain races, but um it's not the same thing. So white is not really a race.
Well, neither is Jewish. That's a religion.
Right.
What's a race?
There is a Jewish people, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they shared ancestry. That like, I mean, I guess when people use race, the way people use literally, you just define it however you please. But when people
Yeah.
mean race, they just mean a group of people, basically.
Yeah,
that
it's
share
really
this.
more like ancestry, which is like, people kind of make judgments based on how they look and
In
where they're
100
from.
years, everybody's going to be like light brown anyway with all the
Yeah.
Everyone's fucking now, so it's not going to
I'm
matter
gonna
in
s-
like 100 years.
I'm gonna say I identify as whichever group you're not angry at right now. That's how I'm gonna go about.
What if I'm just angry at the world, though?
Then I identify as a Martian.
Okay, fair enough.
So I have a question. So you guys know Dear Abby, like with that like advice thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I found there's a message board, there's an app basically called Fishbowl. I don't know if you heard of Fishbowl. And people go on there from different industries. They post different things on there. And something. So I learn a lot. Like I go on there to learn industry talk. But also some people post like just random stuff on it. I found a question like someone gave, and the one you gave, it was kind of a Dear Abby thing, and I want to get your guys' advice.
Okay.
So I'm going to read this to you and see what you guys think about the advice.
Okay.
Are
Okay.
we Abby?
Sure. Yes. Okay. So the person writes, the person happens to be a lawyer. He says, need collective wisdom of some of the smartest folks I know. Can't ask people I know in real life or IRL for obvious reasons. In New York City, need to get rid of a sex doll. Ideas. Long story short, due to lonely big law life, I made an impulse purchase during Black Friday and dropped $1,500
Oh my god.
on a fucking sex doll. Looked realistic in the pictures. Week later, package arrives, almost 140 pounds. Attempt to use it, and the vagina is misplaced like 5 inches far towards the front. Really poor quality and not usable.
I love all of this.
What was
so
this
far.
guy expecting?
Wait, it's more. It's been sitting on the floor of my closet for about 3 months with blankets hiding it. I'm ready to get rid of it.
Wait, it's 140 pounds. It doesn't have to weigh as much as a person.
Yeah, I don't understand.
I mean, I guess you paid $1,500. You don't want a blow up doll. You want a goddamn sex doll, and I think a sex doll has to have like some weight to it.
Yeah, but
Somewhat.
it weighs more than like an average woman.
Like you don't, yeah, you
I
don't
mean-
think like 80 pounds would have sufficed?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. I like a 105-pound girl would have been totally. Those exist in real life. I don't know why you need like a little bit chunkier of a girl.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. The dimensions of 140, like
I'm just going
I
to
don't
assume
know.
that sex doll was like 5'9" or 5'10".
Yeah.
I'm assuming it's not, but okay. But it is like 140 pounds of awkward dead weight, and looks human enough from a distance. I can't just dump it outside on the street or in a dumpster.
Why not?
For that, for that matter, I can't really go outside in public with it. It's heavy, would look weird as fuck with me dragging around a sex doll. Also, it has a solid metal skeleton because that's part of the weight. So I can't really break it up into smaller pieces.
That's about
and
what I was going to
dispose of
suggest.
it.
Okay.
Sell it as an HOV lane companion.
Decoy.
The only thing I can think of is buying a massive box and hiring some sort of parcel service to pick it up from my place and mail it to some random location. But I don't even think a parcel service like that exists. Would greatly appreciate any ideas. There were like 100 responses. This was for this app. There were an insane amount of responses, and there were some were really funny. So anyway, I wanted to get your guys' view of what this guy, I'm assuming it's a guy, should do with his sex doll.
I mean,
I feel like you could probably get someone to buy it if you just rebrands it as something else.
Jay. So this is all about me, Jay. Can you sell this? I know you're good at selling stuff.
I mean, I could
Jay-
like.
Jay, on a side note, has been helping my dad is close to retirement, but he's helping some stuff, my stuff in my dad's office. Jay's really good at selling stuff on sites. Jay, you're good. So Jay, how would you go about selling the fuck doll?
I would straight up just try and sell you a fuck doll.
Would you?
At this point, he doesn't care about profit. So
Right.
No, it doesn't sound like he cares about.
He just wants to get rid of it.
Yeah, it's got to be awkward when people show up at your house and like, what's that in your closet? Not a fuck doll.
If
Definitely
it's-
not a fuck doll.
if it's a $1,500 doll, I guarantee you could sell that for like $300.
I think your just goal is to get rid of it out of the place.
Right, but if someone thinks they're like wants it, it's much easier to get rid of it because they actually come in like,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah,
Okay,
you-
so here's
like,
the question.
You can't be
Here's the
embarrassed because the guy buying it is going to be just as embarrassed. So like, there's no. It's like a this didn't happen type of exchange. You know what I mean?
I know this is $1,500, and so a used one's less expensive.
Yeah.
Do you think there's a large market of people that want your used fuck doll?
If they're saving $1,200, I guarantee there's somebody who's going to do that.
I want to come into a mannequin, but I don't want to pay full price.
I mean, people come into women right after some other dude comes in them. So like, why not a doll that you can actually clean out first?
Is that part of your ad?
Yeah, that's the whole description.
Why not a doll you can clean out first? Fuck women. Fuck a doll instead.
Exactly. You don't know how clean
Are
the
you-
vagina is. You can personally bleach this shit out if you want.
Are you tired of having women that you don't know if they still have cum in them? Get a doll. You could clean ahead of time.
That's probably not the best date icebreaker.
Yeah,
Do
maybe
you still have cum
option
in your-
B.
So wait, hang on. So you post this ad. Are you taking a lot of questions from people?
You
Sir,
always, you're
sir,
always gonna get
I
questions.
noticed I saw your ad for fuck doll in New York City. I want to know, is it like a slightly used fuck doll, or is this like a heavily, like how many miles you have on this?
Yeah, you'll probably get those questions. You're gonna have to deal with it.
So, no, sir, could you just answer the question, sir? Is this like a heavily used fuck doll, or is it like a gently used fuck doll?
See, answering these questions.
Yeah, Jay, I'm asking. You gotta answer the question. Jay.
Okay. Well, yeah, it's only been used twice because, it's a little off center.
It's off center. I'm sorry.
Yeah. So just, how into it are you for just rubbing your dick against like a woman's bush? Because that's kind of what this is.
What about the bunghole? Can I invite friends over and we can all use the bunghole?
The bunghole's in the correct position. Yes.
Okay. Can I titty fuck it?
You can. Everything's fine except the vagina is like 5 inches off.
And the tits are made of steel.
Yeah. There's a steel center for the tits.
You know, when I got my Toyota Corolla, I was able to test drive it first. Is it okay if I test drive this?
Absolutely not.
I'll come over to your place. I'll bring some lube. We could just try it out for a little while. If I like it, I'll take it home with me.
We. What?
Oh, sorry. I meant the collective we.
Good
Together,
day,
you
sir.
and me.
Good day, sir.
So how do you get rid of this? If you
it.
don't sell it, let's just say you're posting it. Craigslist is like no fuck dial sales, and you're like, okay, maybe you go an entrepreneur and like you start a website where people just sell fuck dolls, and you're like, Jay, you're retiring? Yeah, I'm big in the fuck doll world.
EskimoFuckDolls.com.
If you don't sell it, how do you get rid of it?
You got to get a metal saw and you got to chop it up into little pieces. Your neighbors are going to hear sawing for like 3 weeks, but you'll get rid of it.
You're like, sir, what are you doing? Are you have a big project? Are you buying a lot here from Home Depot? You ever see Dexter? Well, this is actually kind of worse.
I mean,
Maybe,
yeah, go ahead.
Maybe buy a cheap motel room, but just leave it there.
Paying
What can
cash.
you?
Paying cash. Maybe buy a fake ID, paying cash, and then just leave it in the bed.
They're like, God, another sex doll, man. It's like every day there's another sex doll left in the room. Could you imagine also like you cut it up, you put it into a bag. Someone sees you in the window, they call the police, and you have to explain to the police. They're like, did you murder someone? You're like, I wish. God damn it.
No, I would cut it up with a metal saw, and then I would wrap little pieces in newspaper, and I'd throw out like one piece a day. It would be like a 2-month process.
You'd be like Shawshank. You'd be a little a day. You're getting rid of the body.
One day is like 1 foot. You wrap it in like the Sunday newspaper, and then you throw that out.
Do you think after time you'll get like a little bit like lazy about it, and like you're like throwing out the trash, and like someone's like, "Did you throw an eyeball in the trash?" It's not a real eyeball. Just getting rid of a set. Oh fuck.
It's 2 days to retirement.
Doc, how much would you pay for this sex doll, Doc?
I would not pay. It doesn't sound like
How much would I have to pay you to try out a sex doll?
I don't think I have no interest in it.
Jay, what if I gave you 10 grand? Would you try out a sex doll?
Oh.
Is it used?
What if I told you after?
No, you have to up the price of that.
Okay. It's not used. All you have to do any form of sex with it.
Mm-hmm.
Whatever you can do with bunghole, it's like awkward vagina. And once you come, your parents will clap, and then you're done.
and it'll be on Instagram.
Yeah. Okay. So your parents are there.
TikTok.
You do this. You get 10 grand. Is it worth it?
My parents are there, and I'm live streaming it.
Yeah, it's on TikTok.
I'm not crazy. It's not. It's on TikTok. Jay doesn't go on TikTok. So the Chinese find out you like sex dolls. What's the difference?
They have a secret. Everybody likes it.
Why don't we make the Chinese overconfident in how much better they are than us? They'll see that and be like, the Americans, they're fucking sex. I can't do a Chinese accent. They're fucking the sex dolls. We're good. Let's invade Taiwan.
My wife's friend goes live on TikTok, and guys just give her money. Like,
really?
Yeah.
Does she want to come on the brink of sanity?
She'll just sit there and drink a glass of wine, like put on some music, and she'll be like, "Yeah, I got $200 yesterday."
What the? Can she come on the brink of sanity and explain this to us?
I mean, that's pretty much the whole story. Like,
well, is it?
You don't want to hear more?
Isn't that what Twitch is too? Like the female gamers, it's like they're just like click, and then it's just like they just get paid.
I'm gonna play Mario Brothers in a low cut shirt. Oh, I made $1,000.
And the cart hasn't moved at all. It's like
Yeah, exactly.
she's not even playing.
No,
Exactly.
you know what? So on TikTok, there was like this girl that kept coming up on my feed. Right? I didn't follow her, but I kept seeing her. And she's attractive, and she was live streaming one day. And so I just clicked on live, and she's just like talking, answering people. People post questions, she's answering them, and I see people are like giving her things like emojis or like hearts or something like that, and I'm like, what the fuck is that? And so I looked up, and basically you have to buy those and give it to her, and so basically I guess she's
It's
making
money.
money on there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And people were, and then I looked at them like some people are like throwing out oodles, like lots of cash at her. And I'm like, what the like? She's not getting undressed.
So there's this dating podcast. I think it's called Whatever, or that's their Twitter handle, and it's basically this guy just interviews like 20 something women, and they were talking the other day about how guys give them money, not for like sexual things. They just like the idea that the woman is spending their money.
What?
That's a thing apparently.
So rich or guys with lots of money want to be like sugar daddies, kind of thing.
But sugar daddy implies like you're getting something in return. This is just like she bought that shirt, but it was with my money.
Like they're not sleeping. They're not like doing anything. Like they're not getting on with these guys at all.
No, some of them they haven't even met in real life. It's weird.
Not even met. So they're doing it online.
Yeah, they're just sending money.
Like I guess like your neighbor or that girl.
Yeah.
So
Wow.
the Earth is doomed, huh?
Yeah, that and there's
It's-
just too much money out there. Like,
So basically, if
I
you're a
don't know.
hot girl, basically like I was thinking about getting a skill, but I'm hot for like another 10 years, so I'm just gonna ride this. What do you mean you're gonna? I can just do things with being hot. And that you mean like porn? No. I'll keep my clothes on. People just give me money anyway.
Meanwhile, between this and our Knicks podcast, we've done 1,000 episodes of podcasting, and we've lost like $50.
So how much would it take for you to take a sex doll with you for a week?
Take it where?
Everywhere you go.
Well, I wouldn't have a job. Day one, I'd get fired. So
It's,
no.
and it's 140 pounds. I don't think I could take it everywhere.
Yeah, what am I gonna get? Like 3 blocks down and pass out?
Jay, why do you have a wheelbarrow? My sex doll.
I
You
still
could
can't get over
explain-
the 140-pound thing. It's heavier. You're right. It's heavier than an actual human.
It's a big
Yeah.
So what if he gave you $100,000? Would you take it with you for a week everywhere you went?
No, because I would still get fired.
I mean, like you could be like you could tell your work like someone's giving me $100,000 for it.
Yeah,
I mean, no one's gonna believe you, so it's hilarious either way.
yeah.
I'm getting under. Okay, fine. He's taking the sex doll and making up outrageous stories.
I mean, even if my boss was okay with it, I'm sure my double boss would not be okay with it.
Doc, do you think it would be awkward when people are coming to you? They're like, "Is my wrist broken?" And the sex doll's looking at me. Make it look away, please.
First of all, I'm the wrong kind of doctor. Second of all, I have to deal with my sex doll.
Do you think you could say at work, like, "Listen, I think this is don't discriminate against me. This is just my choice, my way of life."
You know what I could do? I could put an iPad on like the face part of it, and then like just cover it up so it looks like me. Put a white coat on it.
So the
then-
doctor I went to, he has a sex doll of himself that apparently you get to fuck if you come back with a certain amount of times.
That would be
would you-
so weird. You're in
Would
the other
you-
room and somebody's just like fucking your face on a sex doll.
That would be if you just had a crazy amount of money and you just couldn't care. It'd be great to make a sex doll of someone and have it sent to like, just have it sent to them basically, and they have to deal with a 140-pound sex doll of themselves. What if? Okay, how much would it cost to get you to take the sex doll, like get a date online, and show up to the date with the sex doll?
No, if you're really rich, it would be funny to get sex dolls made of like people's like your friend's boyfriend and send it to your friend.
Like just get sex dolls just sent to everyone.
Just start trouble. It's like
Just-
like my best friend's husband, you send them like a sex doll. So it's like then they come over and they're like, "Why do you have a sex doll of my husband?"
What would your reaction be if this like this some person just happens to use your address, a giant coffin-like box shows up at your house, and it's just a sex doll with no explanation of where it's come from or why you have it?
No return address, no nothing.
Nothing. It's just the parcel service is like you're like who sent this? And the parcel service is like, yeah, we were paid
See you
extra
later.
to tell you.
See you later.
That's like the first year we lived together. Somebody sent me 100 Viagra in the mail.
Oh yeah.
No name, no return address. I still to this day I have no idea who sent that.
Can you imagine you're on hold with UPS and you're like, okay, sir, someone sent me a sex doll. It was delivered by UPS. I'm just trying to find who sent it to me. This is not a prank call. Don't hang up again. God damn it.
Basically, that person would just have the same problem this guy did, but without even have wanting it in the first place.
What if, okay, so Doc, what if Jay's like, hey, got a favor. Could you come to my place? And let's say you could live, like, I know you live a little bit far from him. Let's say you were pretty close to him. You show up at his place and it's just a sex doll laying on the ground. And he's like, I need your help disposing of this. And I need you not to tell anyone about it. Do you leave do you leave or do you help Jay?
I'd probably help because I don't know.
And what if Jay's like, wait, 1 second. Could you go outside for like 5 minutes? And then
No, then I'm gone.
Like, turn around and cover your ears for 5 minutes.
You're like, I heard the sex doll cry. What if,
Yeah,
okay, what if
God covers it. There's like a tear on it.
$1 million and you have to invite friends to your wedding with the sex doll?
Eh,
Would you do it for $1 million?
Yeah.
Like, just like you can you can't say anything till after the wedding. That's and then afterwards, no one's gonna believe you anyway.
yeah,
For $1 million.
Okay.
yeah. Why not?
So, by the way, so for the fans of the show, if the fans send in money and we raise $1,500, could we buy a Jay sex doll?
So you actually want this to happen to me and see what I do?
Yes. Wouldn't it be? It would be great because remember you ran for president.
Mhm.
Well, the 2024 election's coming up. What if you ran for president and there's a picture of you in the New York Post as Mr. Brink of Sanity with your running mate being the sex doll?
That might actually get me back in the Post if I do that.
Yeah.
That would be unbelievable.
That might still be better than our actual choices.
True.
It would be your VP candidate would do as much as the current VP candidate does.
Exactly.
Probably better.
Yeah. So
Never say anything embarrassing anyway.
yeah, no, who would hate the sex doll? And people are like, well, if the president dies, like, how bad could the sex doll be?
You don't have to worry about the sex doll dying.
Yeah, and like for relations, like we were like, okay, the prime minister of UK came and you fucked the sex doll, so relations are pretty good between us and the UK.
Sex doll can be president of the Senate.
Yeah. What if we replaced Congress with just a bunch of sex dolls? Would it be that? How much worse would it really be?
I think it would be better.
I mean, I bet sex dolls wouldn't take us into needless wars.
Do we have another story, or is that
This is the whole episode.
Moving on.
Okay, moving on. I'm sorry. You guys didn't all bring stories about sex dolls to the show. I mean, God damn it.
I did, but I didn't want to be redundant. So
Jay already has one sex doll he's trying to get rid of. He doesn't need two.
Jay, are you against us? I thought this would be like a crossover between our new podcast, the Sex Doll Podcast.
This is episode 395 of Brink and episode 1 of the Sex Doll Podcast. I think it's
Okay,
going
what
on.
do you guys got? Oh, no one has anything besides the sex doll conversation.
That's sex doll.
Moving back on.
Yeah.
this up.
So I have decided. So for the longest time, I've thought that I wish I was as strong as a 9-year-old girl. Proportional, of course. Like I think, like you see, like my daughter, like does crazy gymnastics. The amount how strong she is for her size. I wish I was that strong. At the same time, I wish I had the confidence. I can't say I'm the most confident person, but I wish I had the confidence of a naked 75-year-old man in a gym locker room.
Are you still going to gyms with naked men?
No, unfortunately. Now I seem to work out at home. I really miss that. The 75-year-old guy whose balls are hanging and like just talking about anything, going on and on without a care in the world.
So I joined a gym, and I have not seen any nakedness in the gym so far.
But Jay, you don't really like being in the locker room.
I don't.
You shower in the locker room?
No, but they have like a UV sauna, which is supposed to, it doesn't get as hot as a real sauna, but it's supposed to like get on your insides more, or so, I don't know.
Hey, Doc,
so I've
are
gone in
UV
there.
rays good for you? Are you, Jay, trying to get UV rays? Is that a good idea?
I don't know about this UV ray thing.
Is it?
Jay's like,
maybe
I
it's
go
not
into the-
UV. I don't know.
I don't know.
I go into the cancer box and everything's fine.
It could be a thing. I don't know. Maybe it's like low.
Infrared sauna.
Oh,
Jay,
infrared.
okay,
That's
that
what-
actually, yeah.
makes
But
more sense.
maybe Jay's said you. Jay previously went to a gym that served him donuts and pizza. This gym puts him in a UV in a room where they just shoot UV rays at him. Jay, maybe you just don't. You're trying to off yourself.
So infrared.
On an
Jay's like,
unrelated note, the dermatologist right next door gets a lot of business.
Yeah.
Jay's like, I've gotten this. I joined this cooking class where we cook like lead paint into stuff. It's really good, the stuff we make.
Yeah. So it's how hot does the regular saunas get? I don't know. But this one goes to like 140.
I think I've heard of that before. So was it just the benefit is that you don't have to have steam in the room, or why don't they just use the regulars?
It's supposed to, I guess, hit your insides more, so that like the blood rushes to your sore areas more than just like it being hot. Like this kind of like focuses on your.
Jay, do you walk out there being like, okay, I'm going to do another set?
I mean, everything hurts all the time at this point. So like, I was friggin' walking around like Gargamel the other day. My back was like barely working. It doesn't help that everything I sell, people come alone and they ask me to help lift all this shit.
Yeah, not great.
No.
So Doc, what's up with you? What's new with you?
Working. I don't know.
Doc, will you take a shower at a gym?
I've never done that. I don't know. I always felt like I'd rather do it at home because like I felt like
What if you're really
And that-
sweaty and you have to go to your office from there? Would you ever? Jay refused. Jay's scared to be naked in a men's locker room. I'm wondering if you have the confidence of a 75-year-old man.
I just never like when I take a shower after the gym, like I want to relax and like if I'm in a public place, I just feel like I'd still have to take a regular shower at home. So I don't know.
I used to go to one before work, and it was kind of disgusting. I mean, showering there, I wasn't a huge fan of doing it.
Yeah. I mean, I guess if you have to like you're not going back home, then I don't have no
Yeah, I was sweaty enough that I really kind of had to. At the same time, I was like, this is not a fun experience.
It's like what's that?
I never did
Yeah, I
it in
guess
high
it's
school.
Yeah, like being at school or something.
I never did it in high school either.
We never had to do it in high school either.
They told us we like could and maybe should, but like hardly anybody ever did. I didn't do it like when I was on the volleyball or basketball team either.
Do you guys when you were in college, like you were in dorms, right? Did they have like common bathrooms and stuff?
Yeah,
I
yeah,
hated
we had
shit.
that.
Hated that.
Yeah.
I had the fire
Yeah, I got-
alarm go off twice while I was in the shower. So I'm standing outside in like just a towel in front of like the whole dorm. I'm like, this is great.
Yeah, I got lucky because the dorms where I was, like, they had like one shower for like 4 people, so it wasn't like take turns.
Yeah, yeah. No, this was like 5 like back to
Yeah.
back things for like
They encourage you to get a
25 people.
job after college because you're like, I don't want to shower with other people anymore. So I need to get-
Ever, yeah. And then you went back to doing
I don't need to be group showers anymore. I need to get a job.
that. Yeah.
Or you can just get banned permanently from all the dorms freshman year, and then you have to get an apartment with its own shower.
That's something that someone might have done.
Oops.
Cool.
Yeah, I got verified that I'm actually still on like the permanently banned list. So there's that.
So I've discovered that everything I use apparently causes cancer or is going to kill me.
Oh yeah,
Have
everything.
you guys
causes
heard that
cancer.
so there's a thing now, Oral-B floss. You guys floss?
Yeah.
They say the stuff in the floss will cause cancer. And I
How?
was like, but I
String?
like the floss. I don't like flossing. I like this floss. Like this floss is a popular brand of floss, and it doesn't break like other flosses. And they're like, it'll kill you. I'm like, fuck it. I'm just gonna take the cancer. I don't even.
String causes cancer now.
The stuff they put stuff in it basically to like whack to make it so the string doesn't break.
Yeah.
To make it extra strong. And apparently, you put cancer in stuff. It really makes it a much more usable product.
I mean,
I
would you rather cancer or gingivitis?
Yeah, I mean, basically, so we had this spray on the suntan lotion my wife was buying, and then it came out that the suntan lotion causes cancer, which is the suntan lotion is supposed to prevent you from getting cancer, not give you cancer.
It's fucked up.
She gets rid of that, and then I'm like, okay, fine, but I'm not using the white stuff, so give me another spray. And she's like, well, this other spray hasn't quite been linked to cancer yet. I'm like, fuck, I'll take this one till the next study comes out. Then she's like, your floss, you can't use that floss anymore. I'm like, everything's gonna fucking kill me.
And your valve caps cause cancer.
And
You
my
guys-
valve caps.
You guys drink bottled water?
Not like, I mean, I don't go out of my way to drink up bottled water, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Like I usually don't, but at work, we usually get bottled water because we don't have like a water machine. So, I had this plastic bottle. I drank like one sip, and I'm like, this tastes like plastic. Like this can't be good. I guess it's like this really thin plastic. So I wonder, like, if they get like too warm, like, does it leach into the water?
I read if you leave the water bottles in a car, then that could cause cancer.
This was at work, so I'm like, I took one sip, and I'm like, no, I'm not drinking. Like,
So you guys are doctors and you're giving each other cancer.
apparently.
You know what causes
Cool.
cancer? Doctors.
If you don't go to a doctor, then you never have cancer. So I think the doctors are giving you cancer. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
if you don't diagnose cancer, then you don't have cancer.
Yeah. And then they had this whole like the gas stove thing, which Republicans are going crazy about, and forget the political aspect of it. They said if you have a gas stove, you are leaking gas into your house, and that's not good for you, and that can cause cancer also. And my biggest thing now is I just want my wife to find out about these stories because it's going to keep making my life more miserable. I'm like, let my wife not read the gas stove story, so I don't have to get a new stove.
Right.
Yeah, if you already have it, like, it's like, well, fuck.
She'll make you
I'm-
spend $5,000 on an electric stove, and then 2 years down the road, they'll say electric stoves cause cancer.
Right.
Yeah, they're gonna be like, cooked food causes cancer. I'm like, wait, what?
But also raw food.
And raw food.
Eating causes cancer.
Also,
And
but
we get-
also not eating causes cancer.
Right. Like, is anything not been linked to cancer yet?
This show, just because nobody knows about it.
I actually hope they could do a study that link Brink of Sanity to cancer because that would be the most publicity we'd ever get.
No one who's watching this show has died of cancer.
That is true.
As far as we know.
That is true.
Yeah, we might well. My understanding is that if you listen to our show,
Oh, listen to, yeah.
it cures or watches the YouTube, it cures your cancer. You should test out that theory if you have cancer, and if you don't have cancer, you just do it anyway.
Well, I mean, maybe it's just this is like the how you don't get cancer because nobody who's listening to the show has died from cancer. So maybe it.
You know, so the leader of North Korea, the guy Kim Jong whatever, his dad was the ruler. He took over. He's this like portly man child. Can you imagine like what if he had a podcast? Like he had a Brink of Sanity podcast, and he could just order his people to listen to it. Like what if Jay was just like somehow
doesn't he actually do that? Like, isn't that how these countries? Like,
it's kind of. Can you imagine forgetting North Korea? Can you imagine you had the power to be like, I know I have a podcast no one cares about, but suddenly I came with all this power, and now the entire country has to find out all about how Jay cuts his hairs on his toes. Like,
I heard,
everyone
like-
has to like just find out.
That would be.
Isn't that how
funny.
Russia is? Like, all the TV is just like, like Putin is great, like basically propaganda.
Yeah, but wouldn't it be
Well,
funny
you
if Putin just did an hour about
podcast?
sex dolls and then made he got 10 million downloads because he forced everybody to listen. It's just him ranting about sex dolls.
Everyone in the country has to listen to 395 episodes of the Brink of Sanity podcast. Like the I think our ruler's out of his fucking mind. He's making us listen to shows about little ants and
This show is actually like the first step in a hostile takeover of the country. It's just going really slowly.
Yeah.
really slow. Jay is going to lead a cult, and he's going to take over the. Like, you don't know this. 5 years from now, Jay will have overthrown the United States. It's going to be really wacky how we get there.
What people don't know is that there's been subliminal messages peppered throughout every episode. And if you listen to a bunch back to back, it really, really sticks in there.
So
And
like,
based on our listenership, we could feel the baseball team.
so
Yeah.
like five people are brainwashed.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Let's see. Check
You're
for emails.
Brainwashing them into buying some merch.
We have one.
We can't you set up a site where you basically you don't pay till they order it, like kind of fit merch,
Yes. Yes.
like on demand. Why don't we do that? We put our merch on like all different types of stuff. Like you can buy like say a sex doll with the Brigastani logo.
Yeah. No. I said I was going to do that when we sell out of merch. No, there is
Episode.
How many shirts do we have to go, Jay?
one.
One shirt. If we buy one shirt, you will open
One.
up the sex doll store.
We sold
I
our.
mean, sorry, a regular.
We sold our
I don't
second
understand.
to
I
last
don't understand.
shirt.
You're waiting for one shirt to be bought to start this thing.
Well, I have no idea why.
Because if I put everything online, nobody's going to buy the one shirt.
One shirt.
Yeah. Maybe
How
I'll
much is
just
the one
start.
shirt?
Maybe I'll just start wearing the shirt.
How much is the one shirt, Jay?
It's like $8 shipping included. It's like the best deal ever.
Jay, I will give you $10 if you could find a homeless person and make the guy wear it.
I might just start wearing it because I've worn my other one so much it's wearing out. So
You know what? You know what? Here's what I do. If I was super rich, you know how they have like the Bills won the Super Bowl like T-shirts all in like some random place in Africa. I would buy as many Brinkasani shirts and send them all to some random part of Africa where all the entire community just has Brinkasani shirts and they're like, what is Brinkasani?
If it was 3 years ago, you could have turned it into like 4 masks and sold it.
That's true, Jay. You missed your opportunity to make Brinkasani masks.
I know. Dropped the ball on that one.
Drop the ball.
So we did get an email.
Let's do the email.
All right. 1 second. The email.
You know, Jay, that there are sneakers that can help you walk 250% faster than regular sneakers or regular shoes.
Well, for me, that would be like Olympic speed.
The idea is that the way when you walk, when you stand on like a moving sidewalk at the or moving platform at the airport,
Yeah.
it's that kind of technology. In
Oh,
a
I saw
shoe.
those. Those look terrible.
It looks so stupid.
Apparently, they weigh a lot. Like they're heavy.
Yeah. They're supposed to be they say like you could turn a 5-minute drive into a 20-minute trek or faster. I don't know why they give that comparison.
They're
How?
like heavy rollers. Like they're like roller.
They're called moonwalkers, and they have like I guess they have wheels on them that kind of, but they more of a gentle instead of like roller skates. They more of a gentle move you faster kind of thing.
Okay. So Felipe writes,
He writes about moonwalkers.
you guys, especially Mark, should try to get into Pod Yourself The Wire, a podcast where two comedians discuss The Wire with rotating guests. Get that Gladwell money. I have no special relationship with them, but I'll pester them too if you want.
Jay, you don't like The Wire, right?
I thought it was okay.
Something's wrong with you, Jay. Doc, do you watch The Wire?
I've only seen like half the season.
Oh my god, best show ever.
I was responding to a person who said top 10 drama shows of all time,
Yeah.
and so I responded, and I had The Wire at 10.
No, it's still pretty good. If it's
Yeah,
I mean,
because
that's
I literally couldn't think of like an 11th.
yeah.
what's your top 5, Jay? And I think your list is gonna be terrible, but go, Jay.
Well, that's the spirit.
If you don't have The Wire at number 1, you don't have to have it at 1, but it should be top 5 automatically. But
I had Game of Thrones, Justified, Blacklist, 24, and Breaking Bad. As my
Breaking Bad and Game of Thrones. Understand the rest of the other 3, and the other 3 are good shows. But Doc, what about you?
I gotta think of and Game of Thrones definitely. I gotta like think of other. I mean,
I'm not going to hold you to this, Doc.
Yeah, I'd have to think about it.
So, do you want to do that now? As I'm asking the question.
Yeah, no, it's hard to like.
Okay, we can come back to this, Doc. It's not a big deal.
Mark would have The Wire, The Wire, The Wire, The Wire, and The Wire.
Yeah, I think that sounds like a pretty good list. I guess Game of Thrones. The last 2 seasons were terrible.
Not good. Yeah, they're not as good, but
through the
they're
first
still
6
really
seasons, it's an amazing show. 24, I think, has the initial season of 24 is one of the best seasons of a show I've seen. Like, I think that's maybe a top 5 or top 10 at least season of a show.
Which one?
The first season of 24.
Yeah, I mean, there's seasons that are like, all-time seasons, like season 4 Breaking Bad, season 3 of Justified, season 1 of 24.
What was season 3 of Justified? Which one was that?
That was
I like Justified a lot. I just wouldn't put it as an all-time great show.
That one had like, it had like the 3 best bad guys all in the same season.
I watched it a while ago. I feel like I was that the Mountain People or no? That was the season after the Mountain People.
Yeah. It was the season after that.
That show was a really fun show.
And then Felipe also sent us a story about a Middle Eastern. It was a gym that didn't let women in, and they wanted their own place in their own community. Blah blah blah. It's a long story.
TLDR, too long didn't read. Am I using that correctly?
Too long didn't read. Yeah. But basically, it's going on and on about they want to have a boys' town and it's a nightclub with men only. Blah blah blah. I just thought it was funny at the very very end. It says update. A reporter has been sent to the beheading booth after asking whether trans men would be admitted to the club.
Wow.
So definitely don't ask them questions about the club.
Wait, where's this again?
Afghanistan.
Oh gosh.
Well. I you know what's a fun thing to do in Afghanistan? I don't know if you know much about the culture there, but a fun thing is to get the fuck out. That's a really, really fun thing to do. You should do it immediately. Here's your question for you. Okay, so I'm going to give you 2 different people, and you can tell me who would you rather be. The first one is that person that carries the sex doll around with them for a week. Or there's a man named Jeff Wrights. He is a world record holder for 2,995 consecutive visits to Disneyland. That's 1 trip per day for 8 years, 3 months, and 13 days.
Sex doll. That's terrible. I would never want to do that.
Yeah, I mean, like the 2,700th time, I'd be like, okay.
Really? It would take you that long? I'd be there like the fifth day. I'd be like, I've seen literally everything.
I know people who go there a lot, but like every day is like, oh my God.
And coincidentally, this guy is the same guy that wrote the advice question about the sex doll.
What?
I'm just kidding.
So did he have to go like was he there like all day, or could he just like show up and leave?
The story this is from Twitter. I didn't really explain. I'm assuming he wasn't going there being like, made my appearance, I'll see you later. Yeah. I'm sure he was like, you have to be so fucking into it because this is a record that no one cares about that you're trying to set. You're just going there like for the love of the game. You're going there because you're like, if I keep coming here, I could fuck the princess. Or Goofy.
Also, I just wanted to tell you guys that we're on Restream, and we get paid by the views, and we got this huge check that I'm going to put back into the show for our merchandise. And
wait, can we guess the check? Okay, so the check, not knowing anything about it, the check is for 33 cents.
$3.
No way. There's no possible way we'd make $3 from streaming the show. I didn't even. By the way, I had no idea we were even on Restream or what that is. But I am going to say 33 cents without. Wait, is it? You can't go over. Is that the Price is Right rules?
Oh, you know what? It's actually a bill. It's not. We didn't get money.
What is a
It's a bill.
Your show's so bad you got to pay us.
So, Mark, you overestimated.
Yeah.
Jay, I would chip in, but I have to pay to go to Disney World.
Price is Right rules, you lose.
Yeah, you
'cause it's
lost.
negative
Price is
money.
Right rules.
I have to go to Disney World 2,996 times. So,
It's a bill for $8. So
oh, okay. Can you take it out of the sex doll fund?
sure.
Okay, cool. By the way, is Twitter just getting shittier? By the way, I saw a thing that the Taliban has started buying blue checks on Twitter so they can look like official accounts, and now everyone can. So my understanding is Elon Musk's thing was, remember all the features we had? Now we're going to charge you for the same features, or else your experience is worse.
Well, yeah. If I bought something for $44 billion that was worth $20 billion, I would probably try and monetize everything too.
But the problem is like the verification is like a different thing. So now like it's not that you're verified, it's that you have $8 a month. Like so
Yes.
you could be anybody.
Well, there's
Right.
Yeah.
I listened to someone that gave like an analysis of this, and he was saying how like the blue check mark, it was kind of unclear how you got a blue check mark. You had to be like famous, and then one day you'd have it. There was no like transparency to the process, but it also made it kind of a cool thing. If like suddenly Jay had a blue check mark, I'd be like, "How did you get that? That's pretty cool. You got that." Like it was, but now that everyone can buy it, it's not even remotely cool to have.
No, it's not even that much money. So it's like, I mean,
Well, it also
anyone
gave
could do it.
legitimacy. So, like, if you have like Ricky Gervais has a check, you know it's Ricky Gervais. But now I could just make an account called Ricky Gervais and
yeah,
pay
they did some
$8.
kind of verification. Like, I mean, you can prove identity.
Yeah.
They also did weird things where, like, I guess so. They said like the top 200 accounts on here, we're not going to make you. We're just going. We want you to basically just stay on here. So we're going to keep your blue check if you're just like a really big count. And then the New York Times said, well, we're not going to pay anyway. And he's like, well, fuck you, New York Times. And he took away the blue check mark. So now any of us can go there and pretend we're the New York Times.
Right. Yeah, like that's what I'm saying. Like someone could just have all these accounts for like $8 a month or bots or whatever.
Yeah, Twitter's awesome. It's like I like using Twitter to some extent. At
Right.
the same time, I'm kind of rooting forward to like the burn to the ground. Just
I mean,
maybe
I
like
think it's going to slowly fall apart because people are going to figure out like how to impersonate, or I mean, it's not hard, but like people are just going to start impersonating other people over time.
like Jay, you're right. The idea of you paid $44 billion, you kind of want to make as much money as possible. At the same time, the value just keeps dropping.
Yeah.
And are you going to make $44 billion by selling blue check marks?
$8 at a time, baby.
But
a
like
lot.
the verification could have been separate. Like he could have put like the $8 could have been like other feature. I mean, they're also bundling like other things with it. Like it's not like, you know, he could have charged people for certain things, but the verification is a problem because people like can just impersonate other people and like cause chaos, which is like what happened in the beginning.
Well, I mean, Facebook sells your data. Why can't they sell your data? Can't they keep you a smarter business?
Right. I mean,
Yeah.
Facebook didn't even get in trouble for that, right?
I think they had to pay a fine.
Yeah, but it was
I'm-
it was hardly anything compared to the
Yeah,
money
compared to what they make, it's like nothing.
Yeah. It also, the interesting thing about the Facebook thing was they're stealing your data, and you're like, oh my God, what's data? Well, you know, like what you do online, they take that trace and sell it to other people. Okay, is that good or bad? No, it's bad. You don't want them to do that. I'm outraged. Thank you for telling me. I am outraged. No one gave a shit until you told people they give a shit.
I like the people who would post things on Facebook like, I do not give Mark Zuckerberg permission.
Oh, I know,
That's it.
like it was legally binding.
Yeah,
like,
they
whatever
they
post
think
on
that
there.
post was like, well,
Yeah.
I lawyered him
Those
up.
are those are funny.
Can't sell my data now.
Yeah, it is funny what the shit that people fall for. That that was probably just going around. People were like, I have to post that. Okay, I'll post that also.
I saw like 5 of my friends do it, and I'm like, oh, don't be that person.
You're like, okay, I
That's-
didn't know Steve
that's
was
not
a
how-
retard.
That's not how anything works.
No, it's not.
I don't give Mark Zuckerman permission. I think you're doing it right now. Actually, you're giving him permission.
If you use the pictures of my lunch, I will get the sads.
Just like I had to get the link to get to this Zoom on Facebook. That was like the last time I logged in was like 6 weeks before that one. It's like Facebook. The last time I like every time I go on it, it's like just a bunch of ads.
Yeah. They're all like that now. Instagram, it's
Yeah.
like I follow a bunch of people and it doesn't show me any of those people. It's just all like suggestions. I'm like,
Yeah.
why don't you suggest the people that I followed?
Yeah,
Actually, on Facebook, there's actually like a separate tab that you have to click on to see who you're following instead of like what they want you to see.
Oh, really? Oh,
But
I
it-
guess I missed the memo.
But it resets every single day.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah.
every time you go on Facebook, you would have to like go on and click.
I kind of appreciate the targeted ads. Do you appreciate the fact like when so my wife and I were watching a show on Hulu, and for some reason all the ads were like either about like erectile dysfunction or about there were a lot of them about that. I'm like, this is not targeted at me, and I'm like or they were about like the pens, and I was like, can they fucking take our data and give me better ads? I can't sit through these fucking ads.
They're not even accurate. Like they're like
I found some that were like disturbingly specific. They're like, your favorite episode of Invader Zim is season 3, episode 6, and I'm like, whoa, dude. Like,
I hate the ads where like you actually buy something and then they keep advertising the thing you bought, but it's like something you only need one of. Like you don't
Yeah.
need to keep buying it. So
you just bought
Right,
a
right.
65-inch TV. Would you like to buy a 65-inch TV?
yeah, yeah. How about 8 different 65-inch TVs?
Yeah, I'll just wall my entire apartment with 65-inch TVs. I'm a
Can
sports
I
bar now.
opt out of the TV ads after I bought the TV? Could you guys just I'll let you know. I'll give you my data. Just advertise better to me.
Yeah, like after you buy a car, it's like, okay, you're not gonna get anything but car ads for like the next year. It's like,
Yeah.
but I bought it already.
Right. So,
I'm not buying a second one. Just please.
how about a third one?
How about a fourth car? Can you buy a car? Can you buy a car?
Here's it. You want to buy a garage? Just put all the cars in. Then when you buy the garage, I'll show you ads for a garage.
You guys see the
Alright,
thing? You guys see the thing? Do you guys know who Mr. Beast is?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's
So
now the
super
number
famous-
one YouTube guy. He just took over PewDiePie. He's like the number one guy now.
How many followers is that? Like 150 million or something?
Yeah, it's insane. Like he will put up a video and he'll just make $1 million in like 24 hours.
So I was reading about like there was a controversy. Do you read the controversy with people with cataracts?
No,
So basically,
cataracts
he
cause
took
cancer.
basically there were like he basically gave cataract surgery to 1,000 blind people, enabling them to see.
Mm-hmm.
You see any problem here?
What about all the other blind people?
Yes. It was like, oh, I mean, what about the whole like medical system? It's messed up. They have all these people can't afford it. You're not really helping the problem. And he's like, I'm just helping these people. And then other people are like, are you like, you're saying these people aren't good enough? You have to like make them better.
It's
Like,
unbelievable.
are you discriminating against disabled people? And he's like, they're like, it's a publicity stunt. Yeah, but they can all fucking see now. So what's the problem?
Yeah, I didn't see that one, but he went to a restaurant and he like tipped the waitress a car, and people were like furious at him, and I'm like, why are you mad about him being
So
like
people,
a good
yeah,
person?
people say it's like charity porn. Like it's basically like he's just using it for the like for publicity. You're like, yeah, why don't more rich people do that?
Yeah,
Our
I feel
society would be
like-
better.
I feel like if all of them did stuff like that, people would just get free stuff all the time. Like, what's it's not bad.
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean, this guy made his money on YouTube entertaining people. What if every fucking hedge
Yeah.
fund guy was like, okay, I'm gonna cure 1,000 blind people. I don't have a problem with that. Do it for publicity. It'd be great.
Yeah, like the hedge fund guys do anything like that's that amazing. Like that.
we live in
like-
times where like literally whatever you do is people get upset. It does not
People-
matter.
People are like, well, I mean, it sucks in our society that like people can't afford to have surgery for cataracts. So like, it's you're just like, you're not solving the problem. Yeah, I know. I just helped 1,000 people.
He sort of is for 1,000 people. He's solving the problem.
Yeah, he's like 1,000 people can fucking see, and now I don't want to help 1,000 more because of your assholes.
I mean, that's just social media. You could be like, I really love Spider-Man, and somebody will be like, why do you hate Batman? Why you said Batman's like the shittiest superhero of all time? It's like, no, I just said I like Spider-Man, and it's like
Yeah.
that's just the way social media is.
I got a cat. Would you buy it? Are you going to a cat breeder? What do you're part of the cat breeding system.
What do you hate dogs?
Yeah.
Wait, you think the cat is your slave now?
They're real people also. Stop trying to make cats slaves.
I don't like people. Anyway, I think that's about it, the time we have for today. I would like to thank everybody who was able to sit through 30 minutes of sex doll jokes. You are the true heroes among men.
The true patriots.
Yes. Yes, you were.
You got to push past. You got to push through that part of the episode.
I would say, Jay, that did you bring anything better than the sex doll? The sex doll made the episode.
I'm going to admit that I brought pretty much nothing.
I think I'm the MVP of the show with the sex doll.
Yeah. Well, we'll let the one person emails us about it judge. Was that a good topic, or did we waste 30 minutes of your time? The Brink of Sanity.
I mean, our show is always we have 395 hours of wasting your time.
So our email is thebrinkofsanity@gmail.com. We are Brink of Sanity 3 on Twitter, Brink of Sanity on Instagram and Patreon and Facebook. We have a voicemail. You want to leave us a voicemail? Dial 516-584-4112, and you can leave us a voicemail. If you want to follow us on Twitch, twitch.tv/crumpledbacon, and YouTube is youtube.com/TITOWAJ.
Jay, if we raise $1,500 between now and next show, can we buy a sex doll, and will you do the live stream of the show with the sex doll?
What if we raised $1,500 by the next episode? We will, since he doesn't know about it, we'll send it to Bry.
That'd be pretty good.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah.
There you go.
There you go. Bry be like, guys, you'll never believe what happened. Oh.
I had the best day.
And what if Bry's like, it's weird. It's really weird, but sleeping with the sex doll has cured my sleeping issues.
If we order a sex doll for Bry, we have to make sure the vagina is 5 inches off center.
Bry, if if you just come into this sex doll every night, your sleeping issue should be fine.
All right, we're back on the sex doll. Thanks for listening, everybody. We will be back soon. Basketball season's just about over, so we'll be doing a lot more Brink. And, yeah. And Mark's kids are going to be away for the summer, so we're actually going to probably be doubling up on Brink episodes.
Yeah, we can do. I have 7 weeks of free time.
We might get 2 Brinks a week, folks. All right, so thanks for listening, and we'll be back soon.
Bye, love. Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. It's all over. Goodbye. It's time to go. This is the end. Say goodbye.